Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cruising to the Void. This week, we're going to do something a little bit different. We have a pre-written story for you, and it's titled, Why We Need Robin Hood. Once upon a time, there was a forest. In that forest lived outlaws. Not criminals, but men, women, who had seen too much, who had been taxed for their breath, fined for their hunger, punished for being alive in a world that sold the very things once freely given. Called it Sherwood. It was never just a place. It was a state of truth, a resistance, a sanctuary for those who remembered how things used to be before kings owned land, before men were numbers, before freedom was a price tag. That forest was a question, and the question was this: if everything we need is already given to us by the earth, why do we build systems that take it away? A person who could hunt, fish, build, and gather didn't need a job. They just needed a patch of land, a fire, and time. The earth gave them water, wood, wild game, and silence. They didn't pay rent to a landlord, didn't clock in, didn't owe a bank for a roof or a credit score for bread. They were free, not because of policy, because of proximity. The closer we lived to the earth, the freer we were. So why, in the name of progress, did we start building systems that pushed us further away from that? Why do we now need permission to exist on a land, build shelter, grow food? Why do we now need permission to exist on land, build shelter, and to grow food? Castles and ruling class didn't go away. They morphed into skyscrapers, glass windows, corporate logo. The sheriffs of Nottingham didn't vanish. They became code enforcement officers, lenders, landlords, and lobbyists. The people, we became the ones stuck in the middle, scrolling, stressing, renting. Go to work not to live, but to afford to. What we call adulthood today isn't freedom. We were given land and built fences. We were given community and built brands. We were given spirit and monetized. And through it all, we lost something sacred: our dignity. Truth is what got Robin Hood outlawed, not theft. Because in a world where organized policy change simply legalizes taking bites of my paycheck, truth is what got Robin Hood, not theft. Because in a world where organized policy change can simply legalize taking bites of my paycheck for items I've never paid for before, inequality can be praised by people in power and presented as progress, where truth becomes the enemy of the system. Truth today lives in motion, flow, in that rare feeling when you're training, running, breathing fully, not performing, you're aligned. Movement is medicine because it reveals what's real. What's real has no need for. That's what the Creator gave us with the. That's what the Creator gave us with the cross. That's what the monks found in stillness. That's what fighters find in the ring. Flow is truth. Truth is presence. Presence is free. Because when people remember who they are, they stop asking for permission. It's the price of truth. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look around and see good people, hardworking, kind-hearted, resilient, struggling to stay afloat. You see them wearing masks, not physical ones, but spiritual ones. Smiling while suffering, defending illusions, fighting over scraps while the powerful stay untouched. And you carry that silence, burden of awareness, knowing that if you speak too soon, they call you crazy. If you speak too loud, they call you dangerous. So you move like an outlaw, living real, world of role play. Just like Robin did. And you know, deep down, that most people are not broken. They're just tired of being bent by the system no longer. To keep the game going, we're handed distraction. A two-party system that changes jerseys, not rules. Outrage cycles designed to divide us before we ask the real questions. School systems that teach obedience, not wisdom. Debt that ensures your dependence. Credit scores that shame us for being poor. The saddest part? We're all sold this as progress. And well, the all while, our dignity slips away. Robin Hood wasn't one person, he was every person. Saw the lie, said no. Robin Hood wasn't one person, he was every person. Saw the lie and said no more. He wasn't just selling gold. He wasn't just stealing gold, he was returning dignity. He wasn't just hiding in a forest, he was reminding us that truth doesn't need a place to stand tall. Or he was reminding us that truth doesn't need a palace to stand tall. Robin was a mirror, and every generation has one. Sometimes they wear armor, sometimes they wear hoodies, sometimes they wear scars. Maybe today they wear podcasts, or paint, or a pair of worn out running shoes. So here isn't a story, it's a question. You know the system is built this way. You can feel the truth in your bones. What will you do with it? This week, I'm not asking you to share this. I'm not asking you to organize or protest. I'm asking you to stand in front of the mirror, have the most honest conversation of your life. And ask yourself, what is the one truth I'm afraid to face? One part of me that wants to stand tall, but I keep sitting down. Name it, feel it, speak it aloud. Not for me, for a movement, for you. Because every revolution begins with someone choosing to be real. Realness starts in the mirror. Because truth, dignity, and presence, they are not given. We don't need to burn the kingdom. We need to stop pretending the kingdom is real. Sherwood was never about hiding, about remembering. Truth is still out there. Your body, the breath, dirt, silence, rhythm. Every time you choose to live aligned with it, you're already an outlaw. Welcome to the new rebellion. Welcome to the fort.